This part of orientation will discuss the field education process and how to get ready for it. Our field office is located here in a physical space at our Arlington campus, and we consider field education to be a real important part of your MSW experience because it gets you out in the field practicing what you've learned in the classroom. This is a picture of the field office. If you're a local student, you're welcome to stop by and meet your field advisor in person. These are the people involved in our field office. Donetta Smith is our Assistant Dean of Field Education. Amy Lopez works with students who are in their advanced placement. Natalie Mangum works with BSW and foundation students, and Ronnie Robinette works with students who are outside the DFW area. So if you are outside the Metroplex and you are trying to start your field placement, Ronnie will be your contact in terms of making sure the agency that you'd like to go to is approved through UTA and all of the necessary paperwork is filled out. We also have an administrative assistant, Susan Terry, and you can make general inquiries to the School of Social Work field email and phone number. In social work, we really try to focus on helping our students develop core competencies in the areas listed here. These are developed by the Council on Social Work Education. So students, no matter where they're getting their MSW degree at any university across the country, are working toward these same competencies. One of the most important things about field is that all communication will happen through your MAVS email. This is really where you're going to get those important notifications about when deadlines are happening and what agency you're placed with. So it's really important to check your email often. You have to have a 3.0 GPA average to start the field placement. So when you apply for field in the fall, you'll go ahead and apply even though you won't have a GPA yet as a graduate student. But in order to actually enter field in the spring, you will have to have earned at least a 3.0, which is equivalent to a B average. You won't need to worry about the prerequisites for foundation field because you're an advanced student, and so we'll just skip over this part. And you guys are all mental health and substance abuse students. So as a direct practice in mental health and substance abuse student, you'll have advanced standing status, which makes you eligible to go into field, and you'll have finished your advanced micro practice class and your direct practice in mental health and substance abuse class in your fall semester, which will set you up ready to start field in the spring. Some of the things that you'll do in your mental health placement are really to focus on intervening and assessing people who are facing both acute and chronic mental health issues as well as facing addiction. You'll be learning how to not only diagnose but also treat and intervene with people who are facing both addiction and mental health challenges. You'll also have a strong focus on social justice and how to advocate for your clients who are in a vulnerable position. So some of the places where you might be placed would be like behavioral health hospitals, the MHMR, or agencies offering substance abuse treatment. Okay, and we're going to skip over aging and move on to your advanced field hours. So the courses you'll take in a split placement are 5482 and 5483. And in the spring and in the summer semesters, you'll complete at least 240 hours at your field placement. It will be the same field placement both semesters. You need to begin planning for your field learning experience now because, as you know, since you've all done a placement in the past, it's going to require a lot of you, and it's going to require you to really balance some of the other things that are happening in your life to make field a priority. You need to know that most placements do not offer only nights or only weekend hours. We do have some that offer some limited hours in the evenings and nights and on weekends, but none of the agencies are going to allow you to only be available on weekends or nights. So you're going to have to see how that will work with your family schedule as well as your work schedule if you're working. Think about how you're going to plan for this and get ready for it because it's coming up quickly. It's going to start in the spring. There is a really helpful document that's available on the School of Social Work website within the field section, and it's a Plan Now activity that's interactive where you can think about the different obligations that you currently have and how you're going to fit in field, and it kind of helps you adjust your schedule and think about what sacrifices you'll have to make in order to be successful in your field placement in the spring. And this is a picture of a cute puppy because I know it's really stressful to think about having to rearrange your schedule and manage all of these additional hours in the field, but you can do it, and so this puppy's there to make you feel a little bit better about things. In terms of the actual practical piece, applying for field, you're going to do that through a program we have called eIntern. An email will go out to the listserv in probably September, which will say that the window of application is currently open. And so you'll go in and you'll click on the link there and fill out your application. And you'll also need to purchase professional liability insurance. This is to protect you if there's ever some kind of issue with something that happens in your placement, and you get sued, for example, you'll be covered, and that won't hurt you financially. It almost never happens, but it's an important thing, and it's a requirement that you have to have it in order to go into field. There's information on the field website about different providers and links to each of the different providers. It typically costs between $30 and $50 per year for your liability insurance. So kind of how the process works is that the Office of Field Education will review your application and look at the needs that you've listed in terms of your geographic area and your interest, and then they will match you with an agency that meets your needs. The way the process works is, as we talked about before, you're going to submit your application through eIntern and your certificate of insurance. The field office will receive that and then will assign you to a particular agency. You'll get an email from the field office that will tell you to contact the agency to set up an interview, and that's your responsibility. If you're accepted by the agency will accept you within the eIntern program, and then you will accept them in turn. If you're not accepted by the agency will decline you in eIntern, and it may not be because something terrible happened. It may be that as you were talking in the interview, it sounded like their hours didn't match up with when you were available or something like that. So it's not always some major issue that you have to worry about. Anyway, you'll kind of start the process over again, and the field office will assign you a new agency. If you match to a hospital, there will be a number of other requirements, and some of you as mental health students may match to a hospital. So if that happens for you and that's something that you want to do, know that there will be some additional requirements that are put in place by that hospital to make sure that they're protecting their client population as well. And so those are things just to consider as you're planning for your placement. The role of the field liaison, this is a person that's employed by UTA, and they kind of are a mediator between you and your agency field instructor and UTA. They're the ones that review your midterm, and they kind of monitor your progress throughout the semester. You'll review and sign your timesheet, and then that will also be reviewed by your field liaison to make sure you're getting the hours you need. They also will make sure that the learning contract that you've developed with your field instructor is signed. and they will review your final evaluation and assign the course grade for you. They also, as I said before, kind of serve as a mediator. So if you're ever having any problems, they can help kind of navigate that for you. And so if you're having a problem in your field placement, your first point of contact would be your field instructor. That's the person at the agency that you're working under, that's your supervisor. If that conflict can't be resolved, then you'll reach out to your field liaison, the person at UTA who you're connected with, who's familiar with your learning contract. If the field liaison thinks it's important and you also do, then you'll go ahead and contact your field advisor, who in this case would be Amy Lopez or Ronnie, as I spoke about earlier. And still, if it needs to escalate kind of to the next level, then it would involve Dr. Smith, our Assistant Dean of Field Education. Your responsibility is to abide by the Code of Ethics, to accept supervision and critical feedback from your field instructor and other people at your agency, to follow kind of the chain of command in terms of consulting first with your field instructor and then your field liaison, and to keep up with your timesheets. Your field instructor will be provided with online links for the midterm and the final evaluations, but it's your job to kind of help them remember to fill them out and submit them. You'll also get to fill out an evaluation about your agency and what your learning experience was like as well. All important dates are posted on the field calendar, which is available on the social work website under field. And you can see all the dates about when applications will open and when they will close. And so that will be something that you'll want to kind of keep tabs on in terms of when you need to apply for your field placement. So on behalf of the School of Social Work and the MSW program, I just want to welcome you once again to our school and our program, and I just want to tell you how excited I am that you've chosen us. And that you'll be Mavericks starting this fall. So welcome. Please reach out to me if you have any questions or if I can be of service to you. I want to make sure you have a good experience in our program and you feel good about launching into the fall semester. So thank you so much for your time and attention, and we'll be in touch.